Everyone, welcome back to another live stream. This is Tonicized. My name is Sam, and hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day today. Tonicized's goal, or this channel's goal, is to spark musical passion. So if you're watching this and you're like, hey, what is this about? Well, now you know. We're going to be diving into some Q&A today. So what that means is the stream is really in your hands. If you're watching this live, you can ask questions, you can dive into some deeper concepts. Maybe you saw something and you're like, I want to know how that works. Well, now is your chance to ask those questions. And what's really cool is we sometimes go super deep into these concepts to the point where we get so caught up in it that it takes the whole hour. So it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. Be sure to share what you want to share in the chat today, and we'll be diving into a bunch of cool stuff, which would be really cool. Mally, welcome to the chat. Carol, Music Man, Video Piano, welcome, welcome. All three of you are here so far. Mondays are pretty quiet usually. That's usually a pretty quiet day, but you know what? That's all Gouda. So, a few updates in my neck of the woods. Moving soon. We've talked about that. So by the end of September, end of September, I'm a bit quiet, Tony says. Okay, is that a little better? I think that's a little bit better. I turned it up right off the start there, so I think I'm a little bit behind my broadcast. So hopefully we'll be able to get that nice and clean. Cool. Yeah, so moving soon, which is really exciting, really cool. But lots to do. Sorry, just thinking about all the stuff I have to do. So yeah, lots to do before then. And the streams will probably, but by the end of September, will be canceled. Just because of, well, I won't have my desk set up and I won't have everything ready to go. Wi-Fi is up in the air. Lots of important things needed for streaming. So that is going to be probably the 30th of September. That stream will be canceled for the time being. The second, I'm not entirely sure what that looks like yet. I will have a few days to set things up and hopefully the Wi-Fi can come in, but it is a weekend before that, so I'm not sure if Wi-Fi could get in. If not, I will let everybody know. I have some data on my phone I can use to let everybody know about that. But yeah, so the 30th for sure will be a no-go for the stream on the September 30th, but the 2nd of September may be a little bit different. Now, I am pretty excited because a lot of my students are going back to school pretty quick, which is really exciting. So, really cool to see that and kind of be a part of it. I miss being part of that first day of school feeling. It is one of those things you get kind of used to as you grow up, and then all of a sudden it's gone and you're like, oh, don't have to worry about that anymore. So kind of neat, kind of cool. It's pretty sweet. Hey yo, we got some good questions here in the chat. This is awesome. Okay, so Mally says, can you always add a chord per note in a melody like Billie Eilish's When the Party's Over? I'm not sure exactly what you're coming from here. I think I do, and I'll try to get at where you're coming from. So can you always add a chord or note in a melody? Can you always add more? Yes, you can always add more. You can always add whatever you would like. However, you have to know how to resolve it if it isn't sounding good. So let's say you add an F sharp in the key of C, right? Well, that's going to be the Lydian sound, but that's besides the point. It's going to sound a little bit out. How do you resolve it? That's the biggest question. And if you can learn how to resolve those chords, and if you can try to just play around with it, that's really all you have to do. You can start to kind of add anything you want. Bada boom, bada bang. You got it done. I hope that kind of makes sense. Let me try and play some examples here in just a second to kind of give you an example about that. Music Video Piano says, Sam, I have learned an easy version of Autumn Leaves. Can you show me how to make it better? Sure, we can definitely dive into Autumn Leaves. That sounds like a really cool thing. I'll pull up that chart actually right now while we're getting things set up here. This is great. Good stuff. That's a good tune. Love it. Autumn Leaves. Thanks for the great questions, you guys. Okay, So I've got that set up. I think we'll be ready to go with that. Now I'm going to slide over here to play some piano. Now, you guys can't see it, so I'm going to just... Mostly for prop. Okay, so you hear that okay? We've got that there. Awesome. Cool. Okay, so what are we going to do with this melody? So Billie Eilish, When the Party's Over. I haven't learned it in C. Okay, cool. I'll see if I can get that in the right key. Get it? C. Good stuff. So let's say we have a melody. Where'd it go? There we go. There we go. Wow, that was cool. Okay, so here's my melody. Okay, that's the melody that we have to work with. Lots of A. Cool. All right, so how do we put harmony over it? Well, I would start with A major. That doesn't sound quite right. Now, why did I start with A major? Well, mostly because my melody is in A. It sounds fine, but it doesn't sound like it's finished. It sounds kind of uneasy or unsettled. And this is something that you can learn how to do as you play around with this kind of stuff. You'll start to hear sounds that sound more finished and sounds that need to be finished, if that makes sense. To be more specific, with lyrics, don't know, I'm not good for you. Oh, I see. So you're trying to add different chords in the melody. So like, what is it? What's her key? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Cool. Okay, so let's go to the Billie Eilish thing then. We're going to forget that melody that I did. Yeah, there it is. So this is exactly kind of what I was going to show you with mine, but we'll show you with the melody here with Billie Eilish. So the reason I'm playing a G chord, and I mean partly because of the key, but the melody has this beautiful lilt to it. Cool. So with G major, G has this D, the same as the melody, and that's why it sounds sounds okay. So we're matching this with our melody. So if you want to add more, you kind of have to be rhythmic about it. hard song to do that with, though. So now we're into the second half of this melody line. Look at that. B matches. It's really cool. So when you're fitting into a key signature, all the diatonic chords will fit quite well into whatever melody you make with the scale. And when that happens, you can start to piece together what is going to be kind of the chord progression, or what's going to be a really good chord to throw in as your bass line. Once you have kind of the structure, the foundation, that's when you can start adding stuff. Right, that kind of thing. This is a hard song to do it because you have a chord per beat. I would recommend trying to stay away from forcing a change where there's so many changes already. There doesn't really need to be any. If that makes sense. But the reason that these chords are matching is because the melody note has those. That's the only one that doesn't have anything. And it leaves it unsettled. It's unsettled now, and now we want more. Really cool. I think that's the right melody for that song in particular. I think, or is that a different Billie Eilish song? I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. Let's pull it up. I think it's the right one. Wait for the ad, and then we'll see if that's the right melody. It's probably a different key, if I was to guess. But we'll see. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That's the one. When the party's over. Cool. So I did get it right. Cool. I didn't mean to add more on the song. I was thinking, oh, with any kind of melody. Yes. Yes. Okay. That makes much more sense. Thank you for clarifying. Thank you. Mally. So a melody line, let's say going back to that, something like that, or dun, da, 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 right? It sounds very similar to our Billie Eilish song that we're looking at here, but if I take the A and I try and match a chord that has an A in it, so now I have A. Yeah, so finding a chord in your diatonic chord progression, in D major is what we're in right now, that has the same note as your melody. So I started with D major because we have A, and then I went to the F minor, or the B minor with F sharp in the top, A major, E on the top, and then B minor, or you can go G. Yeah. It's kind of cool. Or you can go. It sounds very much like Billie Eilish, as in that many chord changes. Yes, you can put that many chords on top of that many melody notes. Yeah, there's no rules when it comes to that. It really isn't. Let's try a different key. So finding chords that match. I'm just trying to guess, or I'm trying to figure out, okay, there's my G, there's a nice root position. There's my G, there's a root position with E, right? I'm using roots. So the answer is yes. Yes, exactly. That's actually a really cool thing to try and practice your chords, your diatonic chords. There's back to C. Very cool. Yeah, that's a great question. Lots of good stuff. Okay, now we are going to move into yay! Coffee! Thank you. The coffee fairy has returned with some stuff. Doop, boop, boop. I'm so happy about the coffee. I can never get enough. Did you like that? That was a good tune. Good song. Okay. Autumn Leaves. That's what we're going to do next. So, here is my... Oh, nope. That's fun. Hello? Hello? Hello, it's dark in here. Hello? Is there anybody here? Hello? Can anybody hear me? Okay, I'm going to try something else here. Alright, we're back. Hi. That's so weird. Why is it gone? Gone. Oh. I put it in the wrong port. That's why. Cool. All right, walking bass lines. We'll talk about those too. Cool. Good stuff. Good Q&A. All right, here's Autumn Leaves. I'm going to put this on the board now. There we go. Nice. Cool. Okay, look at that. Wow, that looks clean. I love that. That's great. Okay, Autumn Leaves. So we're working in the key of C, is what Music Video Piano was saying. And he wants to kind of make it better, or try and look at some options. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I'll be actually there. There we go. is Autumn Leaves. Very good. Very, very, very good. Okay, so let's talk about what we can do to make something, or at least these jazz tunes, more exciting. Now, jazz is a hard genre, mostly because there is no rules. There's no kind of format. There's no structure involved with how you go about learning it. And that's what makes it really intimidating for a lot of us. I know I felt that way when I first started. I don't have the melody written here, and that's okay, but I'm going to try and show you some things that you can do to spice things up and make it a little bit more exciting. So, first things first, what I always try to do is explain the octaves. Sorry guys. So I've spread out my chord. I go F down low, and then I put the triad on top, and then same thing for the next chord. And then we gotta make sure we know what the chord is. So it's B7. Next chord is E flat, so we're gonna go, and then A7. That is a really cool way to spice things up, and you can speed it up, right? D, D, D. What's the next one? Yeah, B, D, D, two, three, two, three. Right. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to spread out my chord, right? If I played this chord in its entirety, A flat major 7, this is the root, this is the top structure. So I have C minor technically in this top 3 notes, and then the bottom note's just A flat. So if I go A flat, C minor, it creates A flat major 7, which is really cool. And I can do that in a different inversion too. So that's something that I would recommend looking at if you're wanting to spice up the left hand. Doing kind of a stride thing. And I know you really like the stride piano sound there, Tony. So that's something that I think you would really enjoy kind of piecing together. Just like I said, take that chord, take the top 3, figure out what triad that is, major, minor, diminished, augmented, whatever that may be. And then add it with that left hand bass. Right? It's really cool. It's C minor, right? Yeah. Now what is this one going to be? Well, it's going to be... There you go. So G minor there. A5, C minor here. Yeah. That's kind of what we want. And then you can go and go and go and go until you get really good at it. So that's one thing I would say you could add. The next thing I think would be in the right hand. So know your melody. I'm not used to this key, it's weird. Cool. Okay, so let's talk about what we can do to the melody. We can add harmony. So, right, something like that where you're going, right, now all of a sudden we've got these beautiful, rich harmonies. So what I've done is I've just played the 5, technically the G, right, and created some intervals that spark that. You can also add more, right? All right, as long as the melody note is on top, it'll work just fine. first. F. And then B. Yeah. What is it? Yeah. So you could go to have the F. Basically taking that and just going. That's all you'd have to do with that. Really cool. So that's something you could do. You could also just play the chord itself. Now this is really hard to do, but you have to find. All right, so we're moving up. And then the A flat. Harmonies that we were doing. So, all right, having that nice A flat sound is quite a good choice there. And then we got D diminished or half diminished. Oh, G minor, G7. Nice. I'm trying to read and memorize. It's quite hard. Cool. So those are some things that I would say would help. Now, if you're wanting to play just more jazzy, right? Learning how to do some of the chords in different rhythms. So, and then, right? That gives you a lot more to work with when you have the, oh, is this going to work if I play it? Wonder. I wonder if this is going to work here. Hold on. Nice. Nice. It works. This program's amazing. I love it. Okay, we're going to start again. Nice. Nice. So you can hear how the left hand's kind of doing some of those, some ba 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 ba, right? So, right, something like that is a really important rhythm to kind of understand. So you can go. Right, something like that, where you can start to play around with a different jazz rhythm. So my best advice for you, if you are wanting to increase your jazz rhythms, is to look at syncopated rhythms and get to know them extremely, extremely well. So basically, D, ba, ba, da, da, the 2, 3, 4, and 1, ba, ba, da, ba, right? Or maybe just listen for some different jazz syncopated rhythm exercises. That's something that maybe I could look at making a video down the road. But very fun. So that would be a few things. So we have the stride sound. something like that. The big sounds. You can also do the harmonies. Right? With those melody notes. Something like that, where you're playing harmonies in response, or you're just playing with the going up. That was the second one. And then the third one is doing them as the hard bit. Yes. So practicing with a metronome, huge. You can also find like Autumn Leaves practice loops on YouTube as well. They'll give you the ability to practice just your left hand. Look at that, I skipped it over entirely. Alright, something like that where you can practice just getting to know the shapes. Really important. Cool, that's awesome. Really fun. I'm going to try and do something with this. Cool. Okay. We're gonna try it. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how it goes here. That's really helpful. Awesome. I'm very happy to hear that. Screen. My goodness. Oh, I want another go at that. That's funny. So this program is called iReal Pro. It costs a bit of money, but if you're wanting to try it, you can slow things down, you can speed things up, you can make it sound really cool, and it's really fun to practice. So I'll slow it down a little bit here. Follow along with where I am here. And I'm not saying that to sound like I'm ripping. I've been doing this song for a long time. It as many times as you'd like, so it's pretty cool. Can you post a link to the program? I can definitely try. Let's see what we can find here. And this is also not a sponsorship or anything like that. This is just something that I enjoy using and use a lot, and you can check it out for yourselves and really kind of get a better handle on your jazz tunes and your jazz playing, which is really fun. And they also have pop tunes. So I'm going to kind of show you guys what to do with it once you get into it. So when you open it up, you may see something that looks more like this. And it has, oh, we don't want that. There we go. And it has a lot of different stuff. Now, I've got it in list form, but you can also do it in the big block form, and you got tons of different songs. Now, I've got 1,693 of them, and the way I got these songs was I went to the forums. So if you click on this, right, you can find a ton of different stuff, which is really cool. So like that, bada boom, bada bing. And yeah, so you can see all of the forums that are posted, and you can click on whatever one you want. So maybe holiday, film, worship, classical, and others. How many songs? Tons of stuff, right? Future requests, all this good stuff. So people are working hard to make stuff for everybody, and they have a community there as well, which is great. But there's the main playlists. So you click on that, and it'll show you all the things you can get. So I've already done this. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Thanks for the like. No worries at all, my friends. Okay, now let's go back to Autumn Leaves, because I don't think I was in C either, Tony. I really don't. It said C. Oh, G minor is the default. So here's C minor. We don't want C minor, we want A minor. There we go. That would make more sense, because A minor is the relative of C. So now you've got... There you go. There's Autumn Leaves for you. Very cool. Sandra, no worries at all. Welcome to the chat. Thanks for being here. Too tired to concentrate Q&A. No worries at all. We kind of finished up the meat and potatoes, I think, of today's stream, so that's pretty good. You can go back and watch it later. Of course, you can always go back and watch it later and hang out and just put me on in the background and just have it rolling. Just pick it up as much as you can. So. Awesome. Very cool. Sweet, you guys. So, if there's any other questions, feel free to throw them in the chat in terms of music theory. But yeah, really good time so far. Lots of great questions, lots of good stuff. Now, in terms of this move, I have to say it's quite stressful, because I want to start packing stuff now. I want to start getting things in boxes. I want to start, putting stuff away that I don't need or I don't use a lot. But I can't yet, because it's like a month out. So I'm just like, Yeah, it's frustrating. I'm sure lots of us can relate to that, at least a little bit. Well, summer is almost done, my friends. Well, for us in the Northern Hemisphere. For the Southern Hemisphere, you guys are just kicking up into spring, which is sweet. Oh, yes. Walking bass lines. I forgot about the walking bass lines. Thank you for reminding me, music, video, piano. I appreciate that. We'll probably finish up the stream with that today. Really good stuff. But yeah, winter is coming for the Northern Hemisphere. I don't know if anyone likes winter, but not my favorite. I like fall better. Fall's great. Fall's a good time. All right, let's do some bass lines. Okay, bass line time. Let's actually use Autumn Leaves again, because that's a good tune, and it's already up on my screen. So that's the one I want. There we go. Sweet. Yes. Good call, Sandra. No worries at all. Okay, friends. So we're going to rock some Autumn Leaves. I'm going to slide this over just a little bit so we can see the bass parts. Cool. All right. It's cold here in Wales. I'm sure. It's always cold and raining by the sounds of it. Cool. Okay, so here's Autumn Leaves. We've got some stuff. Oh no, go back. There we go. Autumn leaves in the key of C. Oh, great question, Melly. We'll do that after these bass lines. It's a great question. Okay, so if I'm doing a walking bass line, what I'm looking for is patterns, okay? Now I'm gonna, oh, please don't hate me. Okay, let's do, there we go. Nah, it's just fun. Okay. There we go. There we go. We got some bass sounds. That's cool. That's fun. So walking bass lines are really tricky. They're really hard to kind of figure out the patterns for them. But if you can, they're really fun. So what I always look for, right? I outline the triad that's associated with the chord symbol. So if D minor is my chord symbol, I use 3 notes to get to that kind of conclusion. So it's the D minor sound. But then when I get to the next chord, I have to be thinking about, okay, what's my next one? It's G. So how do I get to G? Well, I could either go by step, or I could go chromatically, or I could go, right? There's lots of different options for this chord. Now, there are some better options than others, mostly because of the chord quality. So G7. Does G7 have an F sharp in it? Well, there's G major 7. There's G7. G7 does not have an F sharp in it. So when I'm playing my bass line, I'm probably going to use the F over the F sharp. So that's a better decision. But where's that A flat come from? Well, what? Who knew? So if I have that, can I split it actually? Yeah. Oh, I need to switch these around. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. So here's D minor. Okay. This chord right here is a D minor 7 flat 5. This chord is called a D minor half diminished, because there's your fully diminished, right? So the A flat can kind of work with that D sound, and it also leads into the G chord. So the A flat, right, works really well to get to our G chord. And then I use the first 3 to do the outline of the triad there. So triad, outline or move chromatically, triad, and now I've used up my 3, and then maybe another flat chromatic to C, another one to F, right? And then we're landing on C again. And that actually helps us with the B. So F. So I would just repeat the C. Or I could go to A. Either way works, okay? So what are some key points with walking bass lines? Using the triad. Huge. Huge, 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 huge. Walking bass line use notes from 2 chords that are being linked. Sometimes, yeah, you can definitely look at that. It's harder because you have to know your theory really well. But I also say that if you can just do the... Why is it so boomy? That's better. If you can kind of have the chromatic movement to your next root note, that works as well. So, right. That works really well. You don't always have to think about chords, but you can. It's really cool. And that's if you want to find the best decision, right? We had a lot of decisions to move from D minor to G7, right? We could go to the F, to the G, right? So, or we can go, all right? But we're not really in a major sound here because G7 has the F, so that's not really a great sound to work with. The chromatic movement from A flat down or F non-chromatic movement up to G. Those would be the two decisions that I would make. So that's what you want to look for with walking bass lines. Triads, and then how do I get to my next chord with one beat or maybe two beats, right? You have to think about what's coming up. What's the next thing? And if you can continually do that, it makes bass lines way easier because you're not just reacting, right? A lot of the times people start learning bass lines and they get really confused because it doesn't sound like it connects. It doesn't flow. The flow comes from anticipating what your next chord's going to be. So if I know my next chord's going to be a G7, I have to be anticipating where my note should go in order to get there. And because D, F, A, well, where's G? It's right next to A. So there's my one beat, B4, and then I'm on G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then what's my next chord? G7. Oh, look at that. It's a G major chord, just an inversion, right? And where's C? Or, if I'm feeling risque, right? If you want to do the chromatic sound and keep it consistent. But I think just the step is fine for that. How do you mix up walking bass lines and the melody? That is the hardest part. That is the hardest part. You have to really practice slow and master this stuff first on your own with your left hand, and then you can start adding the melody. Where's my split? It's B, yeah. What is it? Right, so this is, so I'm taking from A and just walking down by steps. The melody comes with practice, the bass line comes with practice, and it's just like a classical piece where you have to put right hand first, left hand second, mush it together, you got yourself a plan. And then you start getting used to it. And as you start getting used to it, it becomes more natural. And you can start doing it without really taking the time to practice it too much. Now, I haven't done this in a while, so I'm a little rusty, but having that melody... Yes. So it's really hard. Go slow, go really slow. But that's all I'm doing. I'm thinking about the chord, and then I'm thinking about what's next. And then next. So you can do some weird rhythms, and after that I was adding some different skips. So boom, boom. Right? Instead of it's that's hard to do on a bass. So you always have to be aware of how how a bass player is going to play it. You can have a lot of fun with those. So now play a song as if you're performing it. Ah! Ah! Okay, I'll just do the first few. Okay, cool. There you go. Mixing up my chords. And then the split. There you go. So that's how I would do it. If I practiced more, it would sound better, but it's very tricky. It's very tricky. So that's kind of where you have to start really getting the memorization down, the muscle memory, so you can trust your fingers and go with it, right? But the bass line's the hardest part, so practice that with metronome, have some fun, see if you can get the melody playing with you, and that's the best kind of insight I can give you with the walking bass lines without holding your hand and poking every finger to tell you which one to do. Yeah, of course. Sorry I couldn't feel a little bit more comfortable with that. I'm feeling a little bit like I got to get back into the jazz a little bit more. I'm practicing that, so all is well, though. All is well. Okay, so we had a question from Mally, and we'll wrap up with this. Do you have any general advice on how to make a song more exciting when you play an instrumental version? Yes. So what's missing out of an instrumental version? Well, the instrumental version requires the melody to be played by the instrument. And so what that means is we are missing some of the vocal inflection, we're missing some of the human out of it in terms of the vocal side of things, because the vocal is the most kind of human instrument we can make. So that's what we're missing there, but we're also missing some of the energy. And so I think what having a melody inside of an instrumental version, it gives you an opportunity to add more harmony and more kind of character in your own way to the music itself. So let's say, for example, we do something like this. We've got this song. Right? We're just going to go with this, okay? A nice, simple little melody. You'll recognize this from the Titanic. That's it. That's all we're going to do. However, if I was doing this with a singer, if I was performing this with a singer, they would be doing that melody. So, my bad. Right? I won't have to worry about the melody at all. But if I have this, I can add some different character elements to it. This allows for more kind of openness with my left hand. Arpeggios are king when it comes to musical, like kind of the musical side, but you don't have to. And then chords, that's a huge thing. I'm trying to think about on the fly. Right. So what did I do there? I filled in the space with an arpeggio. Go on. Right? That is how I know you're going. I'm just kidding. Okay, so what we can do without a melody is have a little bit more fun with our harmonies. So we can throw some kind of crunchy stuff in there for really feeling confident with our harmonies. Right? Right? If you're playing jazz. If you're not, if you're just playing pop, you're sticking with your diatonic chords. Totally cool with that as well. And adding some of those those suspended chords, the sus2 and the sus4. But yeah, and that's just with piano, of course. But with guitar and other things too, you can start to add a little bit more kind of textures, a little bit more maybe sounds in the soundboard, that kind of thing. Lots of different harmony choices you can use as well, which is really cool. So, like this one from 2 minutes. Yeah. The big epic part. There you go. Oh. Yeah. Very cool. So a lot of arpeggio playing is what I would say is your key to success there. Yeah, lots of fun. I think that's all. I think that's all I really have to say about that. It does take a little bit of musicality, but thinking about where you can fill in space for a vocalist is kind of a cool spot. And then those beautiful arpeggios are so nice. Just add a little bit of extra at the end, which is cool. All right, I'm going to leave you guys with one final performance here before we say goodbye. But thanks for watching today. It was a lot of fun. Had a good time. Lots of questions answered. And yeah, I'm going to make some breakfast because I'm hungry. So let's dive in here. I think we're going to go. those. Like, that was kind of fun. A lot of weird chromatic stuff going on in there, but that's okay. Awesome. Okay. Links don't work. Weird. Okay. Well, that's bizarre. I don't know why. Why do links not work? That is so sad. I do not know. There's 9 of us here right now? Since when? It's crazy. Oh, no. More like 7. That's okay. No worries. My numbers were weird. I was like, what? Crazy. Anywho, thanks so much for watching today, you guys. Lots of fun. We'll be back on Saturday. I hope you have a fantastic week. Take care of yourselves and, do the things that you love to do. Yeah. Go say hi to your loved ones. Go listen to some music. You're staring at my analytics right now. That's so funny. And I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye for now.